y'all, it's Jessica from Sloppy Swatches. Today I have a look at the Easy Neon collection that's available right now from Zoya. These were sent to me for review and they are available over on the website. I'll go ahead and leave that link down below. So this is a collection of 6 brand new, easy to use, bright neon shades. I'm going to go ahead and get started today with OAKLEY. And OAKLEY is described as a fiery, bright orange neon. So if you have pads in your collection, this one is going to be even brighter than that. I'm going to go ahead and show you how it's swatched today for me on my natural nail. Now these are listed as not needing a white undie. You can see that first coat goes on pretty smooth, but it does have a little bit of a jelly-like tendency. Another thing with these neons is that they are going to dry down matte. So that means that they dry incredibly quickly as well. So there's a look at that second coat. 2 coats is going to build it to almost complete coverage. I do have very strong visible nail lines, so I think for all of these I did go in for a 3rd coat. That's not really a problem because of how quickly these dry. So there's a look at the natural finish, and then this is my final swatch photo with a coat of glossy top coat. So next up we have Zoya's ZELDA, and I think that this one is it for me. So she's described as a beaming pink coral neon. So this is like a bright watermelon pink. It is blowing out my camera a little bit, so this is not completely color accurate, but I did want to go ahead and show you how it's swatched today for me. Zoya is including the Z-wide brush in all of the neons, which I think is the most amazing choice. It's really going to help with application. So there's a look at that second coat. It does deepen up that color. I do have just a flash of visible nail lines. So I'm going to go ahead and let that dry down and then show you how it built up for me with a quick 3rd and a final coat. You can truly get the 3 swipe or even 1 swipe if your nails are narrow enough with these brushes. No problem in applications at all. So there is a look at the natural finish, pretty true to color here with that matte finish, and then here's a look at it with a glossy top coat underneath my artificial ring lighting. Next up I have JANIE, and she's described as a hot fuchsia pink neon. So if you are a fan of hot pinks, I would prefer this one as opposed to ZELDA. It's just bright in your face. This is blowing out my camera a little bit, but it is almost true to color. It is that bright in person. So there's a look at that first coat. Really good coverage there. I'm going to go ahead and build it up with a quick 2nd coat. This was one that kind of was on the edge of being a 2 or 3 coater, so depending on your personal preference, you may be able to get away with just 2, especially if you have shorter nails. I did go ahead and opt to go in for that quick 3rd and final coat just to cover all of my bases. Again, these dry down really quickly, like within minutes you can go back in for your next coat. So here's a look at the natural finish at 3 coats before a glossy top coat underneath my artificial ring lighting. And then this is my final swatch photo with a glossy top coat. So here's a quick comparison. I have on the left JANIE and then on the right ZELDA's, just so you can get a quick side by side. So next up is Banks, and she is described as a vivid violet neon. Now, I am not like a huge purple lover, but I do think this is going to be my 2nd top pick of this collection. It just looks that beautiful on and goes on fairly easy. You can see with that first coat, I did have just a little bit of streaking. These are not a polish that are going to self-level well. So here is a look at that 2nd coat. 2 coats is going to deepen up that finish. I do have quite a bit of visible nail line left with this one. And I also had a little bit of pooling, but I went in with a orange stick and took care of that. I did not have any staining at all in the cuticle area with this purple polish, even with it being as bright as it is. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this look off with a quick 3rd and final coat for today. Again, this one is going to dry down matte as well, but I really loved how this looked matte. These are not going to be long wearing without a top coat, however. So here's a look at that completed mani at 3 coats before a glossy top coat, and then once more under that artificial ring lighting with the top coat. Next up I have Echo, and she is described as a deep lagoon blue neon. So really true to camera here. It's going to be like a bright robin's egg in your face blue. So here's a look at that first easy coat. This one went on fairly smooth, just a little bit sheer. So I'm going to go ahead and complete this coat, let it dry down, and then show you how it built up for me with a quick 2nd coat. So here is a look at that. I didn't have any staining with this one at all. It is very pigmented, but I am swatching with the Zoya base coat. So 2 coats is not complete coverage for me, so I am going to go ahead and build it up with a quick 3rd coat. I did go in a little bit thicker here for this 3rd coat. I don't mind doing that with these. They do let you work with them, and they do dry down, again, pretty quickly. So here's a look at that completed mani, and then a final swatch photo with a glossy top coat underneath the artificial ring lighting. So, rounding out the collection today, I have Link, and she is described as an electric Kelly green neon. I may be confused, but I think that this is the first neon green that Zoya has done, and as such, it's going to move to the top of my top pick. So, here's a look at that first easy coat. It went on fairly smoothly, a little bit streaky. I'm going to build it up with a quick second coat. This was one of the first polishes I swatched, and it did get in my cuticles a little bit, and it did tend to stain them a little bit yellow, so just be mindful of that when using. 3 coats is going to push it right to the edge of being completely opaque. I did have a little flash of visible nail line. If I was going to wear this one again, I think I would throw a white undie on it, but the color is amazing. So there's a look at that completed mani, and then once more with a glossy top coat. So that does wrap up my swatch and review of the Easy Neon collection. Again, these are available right now on Zoya. I do recommend them if you are looking for bright summer neon shades. I did want to try to water marble them because Zoyas are usually fabulous at water marbling. I have sped this up quite a bit. Because they dry down so quickly, they are going to be a little bit more difficult to use. I was able to get 1 drop of each shade before you can see my circle pretty much stops expanding. So I went in and tried to mess up the orange just to get it to spread a little bit, and that did work. If you want to work these polishes, they will work for water marbling. I want to show you how the design ended up because my general test is if I can do a swirl water marble, then these are amazing. These didn't go that far. So they are great for maybe simple patterns, like right there if I had stopped, would look really cool. Even I'm pushing it a little bit right here, but as I drag it in, you can see that it starts to get holes and tears, and it's just it's possible, but I would not buy these for the sake of water marbling. But of course, I had to get them in my teacup and try it. Even decals, maybe I think these are going to be a pretty good option because they dry so quickly. However, I did do a little bit of nail art with these because I needed that happy pop of color in my life. If you're interested, it will be over on my Instagram. So that's all I have for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.